Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today I'm going to be unboxing 3 Paris Corner fragrance clones. So let's jump into it. Alright, so we are back with another unboxing first impressions video of 3 Paris Corner fragrances that I recently picked up as part of a larger haul from Perfume Online. Links are going to be down in the description if you decide to want to check any of these out. And I also have a coupon code. Save yourself $5 off your first purchase at Perfume Online if you decide you want to shop with them. Pretty excited about these ones. I've wanted to pick these ones up for quite a while and now I have them. So let's quit screwing around and let's get into it. All right, so first up from the Amir line, we're going with Paris Corner's Frenetic Homme Intense. Now I picked this up for $30 at Perfume Online, and this is supposed to be a clone of Dior Homme Intense, so let's find out, shall we? All right, there we have the box presentation for Frenetic Homme Intense. Just a typical cardboard box, nothing special. Let's look at the bottle. All right, so there we have the bottle presentation for Frenetic Homme Intense. Really heavy bottle, like deceivingly heavy, cylindrical style of bottle. Cap on this, got a little bit of weight to it, but it is kind of a little bit of a cheap plastic in there, but it's kind of top heavy on this one. And I think ooh, it is a magnetic cap. Ooh, I like that. It's a little weak, but it is a magnetic cap, so always bonus points for magnetic caps. Does have kind of a nice gradient running through the bottle, similar to the kind of Dior Homme Intense style of bottle. So I do like that added little touch. And the atomizer on this, nice atomizer on this, really nice atomizer. Will definitely get the job done. But what does this smell like? So right off the jump, just smelling this in the air, this definitely has that Dior Homme Intense style of DNA. Not 100% there. This is a little bit, almost like maybe a little bit fresher in the air right now, but it definitely has that powderiness that's coming through. Has a little bit of kind of the citrus sweetness that's coming through as well, and there is definitely that kind of like that irisy feel to it right now. So let's get this on paper. Let's dive in, shall we? Yeah, so right off the jump, just smelling this off paper, has this slight bit of citruses in there. You're definitely getting some sweet coming through, like a fruity sweetness that's moving its way through, getting that iris. It has that powdery nature to it. It's not super powdery. I was hoping for a little bit more powderiness. It's just the opening right now. And there is a little touch of lavender. It's really tucked in there, but there is a little bit of like a kind of like clean aromatic lavender that's in there, but it doesn't have that same sort of powdery texture that I was kind of anticipating with that the Dior Homme Intense does have. But overall, this is very nice. Nice balance of the sweet, has that texture to it, a little bit of the floral sweetness working in. Very, very nice. As this is opening up a little bit more, that iris is starting to come forward a little bit more. It's giving that sort of cacao, chocolatey sort of vibe that you pick up from iris occasionally. The powderiness is there, but again, it's not too powdery. This is not an overly powdery scent at this point, especially in comparison to the Dior Homme Intense. Little touches of wood. There is a little bit of cedar that's kind of sitting in the background. A very light, very airy style of cedars. This is very nice, very smooth, elegant scent accord going on right now. And I am enjoying it so far, but let's skip to the dry down, see how this kind of unfolds, and we'll go from there. All right, we're back with the dry down of Paris Corner's Frenetic Homme Intense. Been about an hour, let this settle down, do its own thing. This has moved a little bit closer to the original Dior Homme Intense when it comes to trying to clone this. That's definitely what they are going for with this. This isn't necessarily like a twist on that or like an interpretation. I definitely think that's what they were going for. They didn't quite get there, I'd say. Again, it's maybe about 80–85% there. The iris in this is really that star of the show. The sweetness that was there in the initial opening has dialed back a little bit. That kind of fruity pear note that was mixed in there, a little bit of that citrus sweet that was there at the beginning, has really dialed down, and now it's very much that iris forward, that kind of floral touches of sweetness, little hints of that chocolatey sort of cacao style of sweetness that's moving through, but still has that powderiness. There's a little bit of warm spice coming from the cedar that's in the base, so it has that kind of woodiness, but that light, airy, sort of fresh spice that you get from cedar occasionally. But through and through, what's driving this is that iris. Definitely gonna have to get this on skin, see how it performs off skin, but off paper right now and in the air, this smells absolutely gorgeous, and I am quite happy with this one. So we'll have to get back to you on a full review, let you know how this one performs, but so far, pretty pleased with this one. That's Paris Corner's Frenetic Homme Intense. All right, next up from Paris Corner, we're going with our monster line, and it's Paris Corner's Cafe Intense. Now, I picked this one up for $27 at Perfume Online, and I am a little excited about this one. I'm eager to see what this one smells like, so let's dive in. All right, so there we have the box presentation for Paris Corner's Monster Cafe Intense. Nice kind of gold box to it, but overall just plain old cardboard box. Let's see what the bottle looks like. All right, there we have the bottle presentation for Monster Cafe Intense. Pretty straightforward bottle, just a cylindrical bottle. Nice heavy glass to this, and it does have a nice thick base, but overall it's just, you know, just a normal cylindrical bottle. Cap on this, very lightweight plastic on this. This would break if I was to crush it with all my power. And the atomizer on this, there we go. Decent atomizer. I feel like it's gonna leak, but it's not leaking, but we'll definitely get the job done. But what does this smell like? So right off the jump, just smelling this in the air, this definitely has that Montale Intense Cafe, Intense Cafe, not really trying to hide that. Definitely has that. It has that rose, it has that coffee accord, some nice vanilla that's worked in there, a little bit of florals mixed around the edges. Very nice, sweet style of kind of cafe rosy style of fragrance. I'm digging this. Get it on paper, see what we're dealing with. Right off the jump, smelling this off paper, this is delicious. This is a really nice smelling fragrance. Has that kind of roast coffee vibe going on to it. The rose that comes forward in this, it's not an overly feminine or like kind of like your grandma's style of rose. Kind of like a sweet, almost jammy style of rose. So it has that kind of sweetness that's mixing with that roast coffee and some really nice vanilla that's coming through. Has a little bit of an amberiness to it as well. And probably some florals kind of dancing around the edges. But what you're really getting is that rose, that coffee, that vanilla, that amber. Really, really nice. Everything in this is blending well together. The coffee's not very forward, so it's not like an aggressive coffee style of fragrance, not an aggressive rose fragrance, vanilla. So it all is kind of really dancing very nice together. Has that sweetness, but it's getting pulled back a little bit by that coffee accord that's in there, that roast coffee that has like a little bit of a bitterness to kind of balance off against that rose and that vanilla, and the amber just kind of warming this up as it goes. This is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous. The vanilla and the amber are starting to push forward a little bit more, and they're kind of pushing that coffee back just ever so slightly. But like I said, this is all dancing and blending together really, really nice. I am enjoying this one quite a bit, but let's skip to the dry down and see how it kind of unfolds, and we'll go from there. All right, we're back with the dry down of Paris Corner's Monster Intense Cafe. Been an hour, let this settle down, do its own thing. Hasn't changed a whole lot. The coffee has come forward a little bit more, but it still has that really nice, that rosiness that's in there. Again, kind of that sweet style of rose versus that more floral style of rose that you're used to in other fragrances. This definitely has more of that kind of candied, soft, sweet style of rose, mixing with that bitter roasted coffee, and then the vanilla and amber in here is absolutely gorgeous. I'm really enjoying this fragrance. This is absolutely a beautiful gourmand style of kind of cafe fragrance. Definitely unisex. I think both males and females are going to be able to pull this one off because it has that rosiness. I definitely think the ladies would enjoy this one. But with that coffee note that's in here, the ambery, the vanilla that's in here as well, I do think the gentlemen are definitely going to pull this off, and I don't think it kind of leans one way or the other. I think this sits right in the middle for a nice unisex fragrance. I personally can't wait to get this on skin. This is definitely going to be more of a winter style of fragrance. It does have that kind of deep, rich, kind of warm cafe sort of vibe going on to it. So I can't wait to get this on skin. This is pushing off the paper pretty good as well. I think the performance is going to be pretty good off of this one, but I'll have to get back to you guys and let you know. But so far, really impressed with this one. Quite happy. And for 27 bucks pending performance, I think this is going to be worth every penny. That's Paris Corner's Monster Intense Cafe. All right, last, and hopefully not least, going back to the Amir series with Paris Corner's Amir Campfire. Now, I've been wanting to pick this one up for quite a while, and I did pick it up for $35 at Perfume Online. So I'm really excited about this one, and this is supposed to be a clone of Maison Margiela's By the Fireplace. So let's dive in and find out, shall we? All right, there we have the box presentation for Amir Campfire by Paris Corner. An interesting take on a cardboard box. It does have kind of a bunch of information on the front, has all the notes that are listed there, kind of the group of where it fits in there, the woody, warm spice, all that kind of stuff. So interesting kind of presentation with the box, but overall, just a plain old cardboard box. Let's take a look at the bottle. All right, there we have the bottle presentation for Amir's Campfire. Nice thick round bottles. That's the theme of the show today, is round fragrance bottles. Nice thick base to that. It looks like it may have leaked a little bit because the ink on the front kind of, again, mirroring what the box had with all the notes and stuff. Kind of got a little bit smudged. Looks like it got wet, but overall pretty nice bottle presentation, pretty straightforward. Cap on this, has some metal in this, has a little bit of a weight to it, and the atomizer on this bad boy. Nice atomizer. Yeah, definitely get the job done. What does this smell like? So right off the jump, just smelling this in the air, the first thing my brain went to is this smells like a campfire. So that's completely makes sense with the name of this fragrance and what it's trying to clone. Getting those cloves, getting some woods that are working its way through, a little bit of pink pepper spice in there. So there's like a touch of sweetness. This is a very nice opening so far. So let's get this on paper. Let's dive in. So right off the jump, off paper, this is a little bit sweeter off paper than it was in the air. You're still getting those spices. You're getting that clove that's coming through, the pink pepper, getting that woody, that gaiac wood style of wood that's coming through. But there's additional vanilla that's in here. There's like a bit of a nuttiness that's coming through as well. A little bit of this kind of resiny style of like balsamic sweetness that's kind of tucked in behind that vanilla. But it definitely has that kind of campfire-y sort of smoky wood sort of feel to it, but there's some nice like vanilla that's drizzled onto it. Has that kind of marshmallowy feel. It's very, very nice. Yeah, as this is opening up, this is getting very deep and warm, very rich style of sweetness that's coming through, like almost kind of a stickiness to this, but it still maintains that kind of that campfire-y sort of feel. But it's like sitting by a campfire, kind of roasting a marshmallow. That's what I'm picking up from this. And again, you get that kind of lingering nuttiness, that like this chestnut sort of accord that's going through, but really nice woods, really nice spices, really nice vanilla that's working its way through, and that balsamic warm sort of resinous sweetness, like almost kind of like a benzoin, kind of a little bit ambery. Very, very nice. There's some little touches of green that are worked in here as well, like slightly green aromatics that are kind of just dancing around the edges of those main accords that I just listed off. So it's adding a little bit of like interesting character to it. So it's like, it gives you kind of the environment of like sitting in the woods with the campfire roasting marshmallows. This is fantastic. Yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. I am loving this one. Definitely very sweet, has that kind of stickiness that's going on like I mentioned. So if you're not into sweet fragrances, this might not be for you, but so far I'm really digging it. It's a nice balance of those woods, those spices, those sweet accords coming through. Let's get to the dry down and see how this kind of all unfolds, but so far, absolutely digging this. All right, we're back with the dry down of Paris Corner's Amir Campfire. Been about an hour, let this settle down, do its own thing. This did change a little bit from that initial opening to the dry down. That opening, it was very kind of campfire, like almost sickly sweet. It was very sticky sweet, very vanilla forward, had that kind of balsamic resinous sort of sweetness moving on to it as well. But that has dialed down a little bit, and the woods have come forward a little bit more. So like you're picking up a little bit more of the gaiac, the Peru balsams still there, giving it a balsamic sweetness. The vanilla still there, giving it some sweetness. But it's sitting on these woods that have kind of fused with those spices a little bit more. So it has a little bit more of a mature vibe going on to it. Still has the sweetness, but again, dialed back down, not as sticky sweet as it was in the initial opening. And those green facets that I had picked up are still there, and they're kind of singing along the edges as well. So they've kind of maintained that kind of almost a green aromatic, a little bit of a sweet herbaceousness to it as well, kind of mixing with that balsam, that vanilla, and fusing into those woods and spices. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. I'm really enjoying this one. But this is definitely going to be a great fall style of fragrance, possibly into the winter as well. It has all those elements of just kind of that warm, cozy campfire sort of feel, roasted marshmallows. This is my jam. I absolutely love the scent accord on this one. So gonna have to get this on skin, test the performance on this, get back to you all. But for 35 bucks, again, pending performance, I think this was a great pickup to add to my collection and a good interpretation of that by the Fireplace style of DNA. So pretty happy with this one. We'll get back to you on that, let you know. That's Paris Corner's Amir Campfire. All right, so there you have it. That's 3 new Paris Corner fragrances that I recently picked up in a haul from Perfume Online. But I want to hear from you guys. What are some other Paris Corner fragrances that I need to pick up, test out, do an unboxing for? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different tastes and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.